Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is our first video of the year, I think, isn't it? Yeah. My lovely wife bought me a grand hauler for Christmas. I've got to say lovely wife because she's just next door. So this probably isn't going to be the next build on the channel, because this is actually going to take quite some time. We're not building it stock. It's going to be nowhere near stock. So it's going to be a bit of a drawn out series. We're going to do what we can as parts turn up for the project. But we still want to get it done soonish because we kind of need this. We need this project going and running so that we can maintain our racetrack out the side. I don't really want to give too much away just yet, but so we'll bring over to the bench and do a bit of an unboxing as we're going. As we're going through the parts in the box, we might go through and talk about what parts we're going to use, what parts we're not going to use, what parts we need. So while I'm setting this up, and while you guys are making your way over to the bench, Zach's going to put up a photo, a bit of a mock-up of basically what we want this to look like. Right, so you check that out, and we'll set this up. Alright, so what do you think of that? It's going to end up looking pretty cool, eh? I reckon. And pretty big too. So, the grand hauler. It's a shame, it's kind of a shame what we're actually going to build this into, because this, when it's finished and done properly with the nice paint and that, it's just a gorgeous looking truck. But it's not going to be pretty. Well, it's going to look good by the time we finish with it, but it's not going to be like this pretty. It's not going to have the chrome tanks, the steps, the big chrome bumper. It's going to have chrome parts on it, but not a lot. We're going to build it basically to replicate a proper Australian working truck. Yeah, and you've seen it with the big, with the lunchbox tyres on it. They're actually off the Volvo 6x6. But you get a bit of an idea of the size and type of tyres we're going for. We haven't 100% decided on those tyres. We're probably about 95%. But we don't even have those wheels yet, except for the ones off the Volvo, and we don't really want to take them off because of obvious reasons. So, I haven't actually got, this is just the top of the box. The box with all the parts is sitting over here because the box is so big and there's so many parts, I don't think we're going to be able to have the box on the bench and go through the box at the same time. So, like I said, we're not going to go through everything. Then again, we might end up going through everything because everything is either going to be used or modified or not used. So, if that makes any kind of sense at all. So, because the grand hauler comes with a driver figure, which is really cool. I think it's the only truck that comes with one, actually. We're going to put a bit of work into the detailing of the interior of the truck. So, even though the windows aren't a dark tint like most of your later model Tamiyas, they are lightly tinted. But the side windows, I'm going to actually cut off the main part of the window and just have the quarter glass showing in the cab. So you can see a little bit more inside the cab, so we can do a little bit more detail with that. So we'll put them aside. The cab itself, chuck that aside for a sec. We're going to cut the sleeper off and make it into a day cab. The reason why I chose the grand hauler over the king hauler, I wanted either or because I really like this shape of truck, this body shape. But the reason I went for the grand hauler is because the chassis rails are longer than pretty much any other Tamiya truck. They're, how long are they, mate? 26-inch chassis rails, whatever that works out to be. I think the truck works out to be about 650, 700 mil long all up by the time it's finished. Now I wanted that extra length in the chassis rails so that when I cut the sleeper off, we're going to build a water tank on the back of the truck. And actually a working water tank. It's going to spray water. Like I said, it's going to play a big part in track maintenance. So, and actually yard maintenance, as well. We're basically going to use it as a poison truck, poisoning all the weeds, stuff like that. But it's also going to be like a watering truck, just like in the drier months. When the track gets really dusty, we can water it down with actually an RC car instead of standing out there with a hose like an adult, because that's boring. Alright, so basically that's what we're going to do with the body. The painting, it's going to be really, really simple. We're going to go with a mixture of, like I said, it's going to be like a proper work truck that you see getting around all the time. We're going to go for something around this area for a main body colour, and then probably a darker silver or gunmetal for a couple of stripes down the side, and that's going to be it. Nice and simple, straightforward. Plain Jane, just a good, honest working truck. And we've got a few other, we've got like basic light set coming for it. We've got the what do you call it, disco light bar thing on top. So what else we got? The rear guards, not going to be used at all, because they just won't fit over those lunchbox tyres. A whole bunch of chrome parts, and I think there's more in there. Most of this chrome is going to get stripped and painted. Like I said, it's a bit of a shame, but that's the look we're going for. The visor for the cab, I am going to use, but I'm going to cut it down to probably about a bit bigger than a third of what that already is, because I don't like the look of that hanging so far over the windscreen. Rear bumper, I'm going to probably not use. I'm probably going to make a custom one. Air cleaners, we're going to use them, but they're going to be stripped and painted in body colour. The grill, I really don't like this grill, but until we can find another one, I wouldn't mind one off a King hauler. Wouldn't actually mind a proper Kenworth grill, but they're a little bit expensive, so if anybody wants to swap one of these grills for a King hauler grill, hit me up. Some of the lights, like the clearance lights on the top of the cab, maybe we're going to use them, maybe not. The stacks, obviously we're going to use them. Might only put one stack on it, keep it nice and simple. Alright, this box, obviously I've gone through all this several times because I really can't wait to build it. So your typical parts bags from Tamiya. Because we're putting the bigger wheels on it, I've almost got it worked out. I think I have anyway. We have to raise the suspension. So I've got a few ideas. We're pretty much just going to work that out as we go, but I've got a few ideas on how to do that. Right, so we said we're going to turn it into a water truck. I think we worked out we're probably going to get about 6 to 8 litres out of this tank that we want. The tank itself is just going to be made from a length of probably 6-inch, 150mm PVC pipe with the ends capped off. A couple of pumps, a couple of speed controllers, run the pumps. Some irrigation piping, hosing, and a little bit of a spray bar on the back, and you got your water truck, don't you? The stacks are actually really nice. I'm not going to take them out yet because they'll get dirty. But they're metal. I don't know if they're chrome plated metal or just polished stainless steel, but either way they'll be good. Stock 27 turn motor, they can go straight in the drill. We're not using that. We are putting a 80 turn motor in this truck, purely because the amount of weight it has to carry. and where it's going to be driving. So we do need quite a bit of torque from the motor. Tyres, obviously we're not going to be using, but they will be handy. Maybe we can make a trailer or something later on. I don't think I'm going to buy a Tamiya trailer because they cost just as much as the bloody truck. So I really can't see the value there. There's really nothing special in there, guys. It's all the Tamiya, typical Tamiya stuff. We'll go through it as we're building it. You'll see it there. All your diff gears. Yes, bearings. Obviously we're using ball bearings, which I don't actually have yet, so that's another reason why I can't start building the truck yet. We are going to build parts of the truck though. You put that over there please somewhere, mate. All your usual stuff that you get with all your kits. Stickers, probably not going to use any of them. Maybe a couple. I'm not too sure. Manual is about the size of an encyclopedia. Your typical Tamiya manual. Obviously we'll go through that when we build it. Your instructions for your driver and your don't do dumb stuff pamphlet. There's parts for your turntable. Oh yeah, depends where you are in the world. Some people call this a coupler, some people call it a fifth wheel. Here in Australia we call it a turntable. In case you didn't know, there's a bit of trivia for you. Cross members, rear suspension parts, chassis mounts. A lot of this stuff is going to be either not used or modified. Again, we just got to work that out as we get to it. And chuck them over there. This is going to be fun to get all this back in the box. I tell you, a lot of parts. Wheels, obviously not using them. So they can go straight into our wheel box. Another box full of more plastic parts. Here we go. So, more chrome parts. Obviously not using the front bumper. I do have this Tamiya ball bar. We call it a ball bar in Australia, but I think the kit's actually called a animal guard. This is off the night hauler that I had 17 odd years ago. It got all bashed up and broken. I only just found all the parts and put it back together the other day. So I'm not using this exact one, but I am going to build a similar style bull bar to go on this truck. It's just like that or down there, I don't know. But I'm going to build a custom bull bar for the truck, which means I'm not using this front bumper. That's more of a street, show kind of truck. We'll probably use these quarter guards because we're not using the full length mud guards. Body mounts, and this is the second turntable you get, the round one, which apparently you don't even use. I've got a couple of them laying in a box somewhere. What am I going to say about that? Your front uprights for your steering. We've got a set of lunchbox front uprights on order, so that we can use the lunchbox front wheels. However, the actual axle in the lunchbox is 5mm all the way through. This steps up to I think 8mm or 7mm. So I've actually got to make a bush to fit between the plastic knuckle and the lunchbox axle, which we'll show you that as we get to it. We've got here more chrome bits. They're they're your horns. All right. Might not be using them, I don't know, because they glue on pretty much where that light bar is going to go. So again, we'll find out when we get to it. You guys are going to be learning just as much as we are when we build this kit. More random parts. There's your turntable plate, interior parts. Like I said, we're going to try and we're going to do it, make it into like an Australian looking work truck, which means we're going to have to convert it to right-hand drive. Well, the interior anyway. So that shouldn't be all that difficult to do. Light parts, your gearbox and differential parts. We're going to mock up the rear diffs just so that we can set them in the chassis and set the front end in the chassis, just so we can get our heights right and work that sort of thing out. A lot of the trucks are going to be half built and then have to be taken apart again for things like painting and what have you. So transmission parts, gears, transmission parts, more light parts, more cross members, pretty boring stuff, more chrome parts. Some of this won't be used. Whatever is getting used is probably going to be stripped and painted. And that's exactly the same part street. So, and that's and probably the most important thing is your chassis rails. Oh, look how long these things are. This is great. This is why I went for this kit. So the front of the chassis, am I getting you in shot? Yeah. Front of the chassis pretty much lines up with the front of the body from memory. Now once we cut this sleeper off, we've got pretty much from here to here that we can use to put our water tank on. And we're going to need that room because of that's actually supposed to be around that way, not that it matters. There's a lot of things to think about when we're doing this water tank. So pretty much just making stuff up as I go along when I build this. Right, so that's everything that's in the kit. I'll just start throwing stuff back into boxes. So yeah, that's basically what we're doing with our grain hauler. Pretty much. You can say we're destroying a beautiful truck. But it is going to be used for a purpose. So it won't be sitting pretty on a shelf. It won't be getting driven around daintily around a car park or a driveway or something like that. It's going to be used and used well. Now the transmission. I don't know if the transmission is going to hold up. I don't know if the transmission is going to hold up to the amount of work we're going to put this truck through. So we may be looking at getting a 2-to-1 reduction drive for the 80-tune motor. But I think we're just going to build the truck and see what happens. If something breaks, then we'll fix it and make it better. So that's our plans for this Tamiya ground hauler. Tell us what you think. I don't know when the next video is going to be out on this truck. Like I said, some of the parts we've ordered haven't even turned up yet. And we can't order any more parts until we find out what parts we need. So it's going to take a little bit of time. So it's just going to be one of those video series that the videos are going to come out pretty much when they come out. It's not going to be one after the other, like the frog was. So let us know what you think, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you whenever we get to start building this truck. I can't wait.